I'm standing in the bridal suite of the Grand Magnolia Hotel, staring at myself in a full-length mirror, and I'm about to have a complete meltdown. Not because my makeup looks bad. Shanice did her thing with this contour. Not because I'm getting cold feet. Marcus is the best man I've ever known, and I'm ready to be Mrs. Marcus Thompson. No, I'm about to lose it, because my wedding dress looks like it was designed by someone who's never seen a black woman's body before in their entire life. Girl, why you look like you about to cry? My maid of honor, Kennedy, asks, walking up behind me with a mimosa in each hand. You supposed to be happy. This your big day. I turn around, and the dress makes this weird crunching sound, like bubble wrap being stepped on. Kennedy, look at me. I look like a walking meringue. I look like I'm about to float away in a Thanksgiving Day parade. Kennedy squints at me, tilting her head like she's trying to see it from a different angle. It's a lot of dress. A lot? Kennedy, there are small countries with less territory than this skirt. I specifically told Dominique I wanted elegant and fitted. I wanted Beyoncé at the Grammys. I wanted Michelle Obama at the inauguration. Instead, I got Marie Antoinette at the execution. My cousin Jasmine walks in, stops dead in her tracks, and her mouth falls open. Taylor, is that the dress? Don't start, Jasmine. No, I'm not starting nothing. I'm just saying, you look like you could hide a whole wedding party under there. You look like if Cinderella went to a black church and the mothers got a hold of her. You look like, Jasmine, I swear to God. I'm just saying, when you walk down that aisle, Mark is gonna need GPS to find you under all that fabric. Kennedy tries to suppress a laugh, but fails miserably. Even my mama, who's been relatively calm all morning, walks in, sees me, and her face does this thing where she's trying not to react, but absolutely is reacting. Baby, that's the dress Dominique made? Yes, Mama. And you paid her how much for this? $5,000. My mama's eye twitches. $5,000 what? $5,000, Mama. She closes her eyes and takes a deep breath, like she's praying for strength. Lord, give me the serenity to not go find this Dominique woman and ask her some questions with my hands. Mama, please, I'm already stressed enough. The thing is, I'd hired Dominique LaCroix 3 months ago, after she came highly recommended by my coworker, Brittany. Brittany raved about how Dominique had designed her wedding dress, and it was absolutely stunning and so unique, and everyone was talking about it. What Brittany failed to mention was that she's a size 2, blonde, and looks like she stepped out of a Pottery Barn catalog. I, on the other hand, am a size 12, have hips that don't quit, and need a dress that understands the assignment. When I'd met with Dominique for my first fitting, she'd looked at me like I was a science project. She kept saying things like, interesting proportions, and we'll have to accommodate, and I've never worked with this much curve before. I should have known then. I should have walked out, but she had a French accent and a fancy studio in the arts district, and I got caught up in the bougie vibes. Now, here I am, 2 hours before my wedding, looking like I raided a costume shop's historical figures who had too much money section. We have to do something, Kennedy says, walking around me in a circle. We can't let you walk down that aisle looking like this. What am I supposed to do? We don't have time to get another dress. The ceremony starts at 2. My phone buzzes. It's a text from Marcus. Can't wait to see you. I love you so much. About to be the best day of our lives. I feel tears starting to well up, and Kennedy immediately jumps into action. No. We are not crying. We are not messing up Shanice's makeup masterpiece. We are going to figure this out. That's when my little sister Morgan bursts through the door like she's being chased. Taylor, you need to come see this right now. Morgan, I'm having a crisis. Unless someone is dying, I can't. Girl, this is worse than dying. Your ex-boyfriend is here. The room goes completely silent. Everyone freezes. Kennedy's mouth drops open. Jasmine gasps. My mama's hand goes to her chest. Excuse me? I finally manage to say. DeAndre is here. At your wedding. Right now. That's impossible. I didn't invite DeAndre. Why would I invite DeAndre? Morgan's eyes get even wider. That's the thing. He didn't come as a guest. He came as Dominique's +1. Now I know I'm in an alternate reality. What are you talking about? The wedding dress designer. Dominique. She's here. With DeAndre and Taylor. They're matching. Like coordinated outfits matching. Like we're definitely together matching. I can't breathe. This cannot be happening. DeAndre, my ex-boyfriend of 3 years, who I broke up with 8 months ago because he was allergic to commitment, responsibility, and paying his own cell phone bill, is at my wedding. With the woman who designed this monstrosity I'm currently wearing. Kennedy grabs my shoulders. Okay, we need to stay calm. We need to think about this logically. Logically? Kennedy, my ex-boyfriend is dating my wedding dress designer and they're both at my wedding right now. Well, when you say it out loud, it does sound insane. Jasmine is already on her phone. I'm looking at his Instagram right now. Oh my God. Oh my God. Taylor, they've been dating for 2 months. There's pictures of them in Paris. In front of the Eiffel Tower. Making heart hands. Heart hands? DeAndre made heart hands? The man who told me romance was a capitalist conspiracy? My mama is pacing now. And when my mama paces, bad things happen. So let me get this straight. This French woman designed you a terrible dress, is dating your no-good ex-boyfriend, and had the audacity to bring him to your wedding? Apparently so, Mama. And how much you say you paid her for this dress? $5,000. My mama stops pacing and looks at me with an expression I haven't seen since I was 12 and got caught stealing cookies before dinner. Baby, I need you to go out there and be polite and gracious because it's your wedding day and you're a lady. But after today, me and this Dominique woman are going to have a conversation. Mama, you can't fight my wedding dress designer. I'm not going to fight her. I'm just going to ask her some questions. Aggressively. Kennedy peeks out the door. Okay, I can see them from here. They're near the gift table. And Taylor, I hate to say this, but Dominique looks amazing. Like, annoyingly amazing. Her dress is perfect. It's fitted, it's elegant. It's everything your dress should have been. I'm going to be sick. And DeAndre looks good too. He's wearing a custom suit. His hair is faded. He's got on cufflinks. Cufflinks, Taylor. When y'all were together, that man wore the same 3 t-shirts in rotation. This is a nightmare. This has to be a nightmare. I'm going to wake up any second and laugh about this weird dream I had where my ex-boyfriend showed up to my wedding with my incompetent dress designer and I was wearing a dress that could house a family of 4. But I don't wake up because this isn't a dream. This is my actual life. Morgan is still at the door, narrating like she's a sports commentator. Okay, they're talking to Uncle Jerome. Uncle Jerome looks confused. Wait, now Uncle Jerome is laughing. Oh no. Now Uncle Jerome is pointing toward the bridal suite. He's telling them where you are. They're coming this way. Lock the door, I yell. Kennedy runs to the door, but before she can lock it, it swings open, and there they are. DeAndre and Dominique, in the flesh, at my wedding. Looking like they stepped out of a luxury car commercial. DeAndre has the audacity to smile. Taylor, congratulations. You look, wow, that's quite a dress. I'm frozen. I can't move. I can't speak. I can feel my eyes starting to twitch the same way my mama's did earlier. Dominique steps forward, air kissing both my cheeks like we're old friends. Ma chérie, you look magnifique. The dress? She is everything I imagined. Kennedy leans over and whispers, I know you're trying to be classy right now, but I will fight both of them. Just say the word. My mama steps between me and Dominique. Hi there. I'm Diane, Taylor's mother, and you must be the dress designer. Oui, yes, I am Dominique LaCroix. It is such a pleasure to meet the mother of the bride. Uh-huh. And this young man here is? DeAndre extends his hand. DeAndre Williams, ma'am. I'm Dominique's boyfriend. And actually, I'm also an old friend of Taylor's. My mama's smile doesn't reach her eyes. Old friend, I see. Well, isn't that interesting? The tension in this room is so thick you could cut it with a knife. Jasmine is recording this on her phone because she has no home training. Morgan is eating popcorn that she apparently had in her purse. Kennedy looks ready to throw hands at any moment. So I finally managed to say, my voice surprisingly steady, "When exactly did you two meet?" Dominique lights up like she's been waiting for someone to ask. "Oh, it is such a romantic story. We met at a cafe in the Arts District. I was sketching designs, and DeAndre, he walked by and said my drawings were beautiful. We started talking, and how do you say we had instant chemistry?" "Chemistry," I repeat. "How nice." DeAndre has the nerve to look uncomfortable. "Yeah, so. Taylor, I didn't know Dominique was your dress designer until yesterday. She mentioned she had a big wedding today, and when she said your name, I was like, wait, what? And yet you still came." "Well, I mean, I was already her +1, and I figured enough time has passed. We can be adults about this, right?" Kennedy mutters under her breath. Adults. This man ate cereal for dinner every night. Dominique, completely oblivious to the rising chaos, walks around me examining the dress. You see, this dress, she is inspired by French royalty. The volume, the drama, the presence. When you walk down the aisle, all eyes will be on you. They'll be on me trying to figure out if I'm a bride or a parade float. I snap. The room goes quiet. Dominique's smile falters. For the first time. "I'm sorry? This dress. It's not what I asked for. I told you I wanted elegant and fitted. I showed you pictures. I was very clear about what I wanted." Dominique waves her hand dismissively. "But chérie, I am the designer. I know what looks best. This dress, she is art. I don't need art. I need a wedding dress that makes me look good. And this." I gesture at the mountain of fabric around me. This is not it. DeAndre, sensing the escalating tension, tries to play peacemaker. "Taylor, maybe you're just nervous. I'm sure once you get down that aisle." "DeAndre, I need you to not talk right now. Actually, I need you to not be here right now. This is my wedding. My wedding to another man. A man who actually wants to marry me. A man who doesn't need 3 years to figure out if he wants a future together." DeAndre's face flushes. "That's not fair." "Fair? You want to talk about fair? You told me you didn't believe in marriage. You said it was an outdated institution. You said you needed to focus on your music career, which, by the way, how's that going? You still working at Best Buy?" Kennedy snorts. Morgan drops her popcorn. Jasmine captures the whole thing on video. "I'm actually a manager now," DeAndre says defensively. "Congratulations! You got promoted at Best Buy and somehow that qualified you for commitment. Meanwhile, I wasted 3 years waiting for you to grow up." Dominique looks between us, finally piecing together that DeAndre and I are more than just old friends. "Wait, you two, you were together? In a relationship?" 3 years, I confirm. 3 years of being someone's maybe someday. DeAndre shifts uncomfortably. "Taylor, come on. We talked about this when we broke up. We wanted different things." "No, DeAndre. I wanted to build a life. You wanted to stay in your mama's basement playing video games and recording SoundCloud mixtapes that nobody listened to. Okay, now you're just being mean." "Mean? You showed up to my wedding with the woman who designed this disaster." I gesture at the dress again. "A woman who, by the way, you've been dating for exactly 2 months. What happened to needing time to figure out what you want?" Dominique's face is red now. "This disaster? This dress is haute couture. Do you know how many hours I put into this?" "I don't care if you put in 1,000,000 hours. It's wrong. And you know what? I think you made it wrong on purpose." The room gasps. Even Kennedy looks shocked. "What are you talking about?" Dominique asks, her accent suddenly less pronounced. "You knew. You knew I was DeAndre's ex. That's why you agreed to design my dress. That's why you made me look ridiculous. This whole thing was some petty revenge plot because... What? You're threatened by me?" Dominique's silence is all the confirmation I need. My mama steps forward again. So you took this child's money, $5,000 of her hard-earned money, and deliberately sabotaged her wedding dress? I did not sabotage. Yes, you did, Kennedy says, stepping up beside my mama. Because a designer of your supposed caliber should have been able to make Taylor look amazing. Instead, you made her look like she got lost on the way to a Victorian costume party. DeAndre is backing toward the door. Okay, I think maybe we should go. Oh no, Jasmine blocks his path. You're not going anywhere. This is just getting good. I walk toward Dominique, and despite the ridiculous dress, I feel powerful. You want to know something? I should thank you. Because looking at this dress, looking at you with DeAndre, I realize I dodged not one, but 2 bullets. You deserve each other. He's going to disappoint you the same way he disappointed me. And when he does, maybe you'll design yourself a sad dress to wear while you eat ice cream and wonder where it all went wrong. Dominique's eyes are watering now. You don't know what you're talking about, don't I? DeAndre, tell her. Tell her about how you're just not ready for anything serious. Tell her about how you need space to find yourself. Go ahead. Tell her. DeAndre is looking at his shoes like they're the most fascinating things in the world. That's what I thought, I say. My mama puts her hand on my shoulder. Baby, we need to fix this dress situation. The wedding starts in 90 minutes. She's right. I've wasted enough time on these two. This is supposed to be the happiest day of my life, and I'm not going to let them ruin it. Kennedy, Jasmine, Morgan, help me get out of this thing. They spring into action, working together to unbutton, unzip, and unlace me from the world's most complicated dress. When I'm finally free, standing there in my shapewear and strapless bra, I feel like I can breathe again. Okay, Kennedy says, looking at her phone. We have a few options. There's a bridal boutique 15 minutes away. I can call and see if they have anything in your size. What about your backup dress? Jasmine asks. The one you wore to your bridal shower? That's not wedding appropriate. It's too casual. Morgan speaks up. What about Aunt Carol's dress? The one she got married in? She's about your size, and she lives 10 minutes away. My mama's eyes light up. Morgan, that's perfect. Carol's dress is beautiful, classic, elegant, everything that, she gestures at Dominique's creation, that is not. I'll call her right now, Morgan says, already dialing. While Morgan talks to Aunt Carol, I turn to face Dominique and DeAndre one last time. You need to leave. Both of you. Now. Taylor, I'm sorry, DeAndre says, and he actually sounds sincere. I never meant for any of this to happen. That's your problem, DeAndre. You never mean for anything to happen. You just coast through life letting things happen to you instead of making choices. Well, I'm making a choice. I'm choosing to marry a man who chose me from day one. A man who didn't need 3 years to figure out if I was worth committing to. A man who sees me and loves me exactly as I am. DeAndre nods slowly. He's lucky. No, I'm lucky. Because I finally figured out what I deserve. Dominique is crying now, mascara running down her face. I will refund your money. All of it. I am sorry. I was jealous. DeAndre, he talks about you sometimes. About how you were so sure of what you wanted. So confident. So together. And I am not those things. I thought if I made you look foolish, I would feel better. But I just feel terrible. It's the most honest she's been since I met her. And despite everything, I feel a tiny bit of sympathy for her. Dominique, here's some free advice. If you're dating someone who makes you feel like you need to compete with their ex, you're dating the wrong person. And if you're sabotaging other people to feel better about yourself, you need to work on yourself first. I hope you figure that out before you waste as much time on him as I did. With that, Kennedy escorts them out. The room feels lighter immediately. Aunt Carol arrives 20 minutes later with her wedding dress, a stunning ivory gown with delicate lace sleeves and a fitted bodice that flares out gently at the hips. It's perfect. It's everything I wanted. Baby, you try this on. Aunt Carol says, handing me the garment bag. If it doesn't fit or you don't like it, we'll figure something else out. But I think it's going to be beautiful on you. I slip into the dress, and the moment I look in the mirror, I start crying. Happy tears this time. The dress fits like it was made for me. It's elegant, sophisticated, and most importantly, it makes me feel like myself. You look gorgeous, Kennedy whispers, squeezing my hand. My mama is crying too. My baby, my beautiful baby. Even Jasmine, who never gets emotional, is tearing up. Girl, this is the one. This is definitely the one. There's a knock at the door, and Uncle Jerome pokes his head in. Y'all ready? Marcus is about to lose his mind out there. He keeps asking if Taylor's okay. Tell him she's perfect, my mama says. Tell him his bride is perfect. The ceremony is beautiful. When I walk down the aisle, Marcus's face lights up in a way that makes all the morning's chaos completely worth it. His eyes are shining. He's smiling so wide I can see all his teeth. And when I reach him, he whispers, "You are the most beautiful woman I have ever seen." I whisper back, "You should have seen the other dress." He looks confused, but I just smile. I'll tell you later. The officiant begins, and I tune out everything else. The guests, the flowers, the music, none of it matters. All that matters is Marcus and me, and the promise we're about to make to each other. When we get to the vows, Marcus goes first. Taylor, I knew I wanted to marry you on our third date when you ordered extra breadsticks at Olive Garden and didn't pretend like you weren't going to eat all of them. I knew I wanted to marry you when you sang in the car at the top of your lungs to Beyoncé and didn't care that we were stuck in traffic and people could see you. I knew I wanted to marry you when you cried watching a dog food commercial and then laughed at yourself for being so emotional. You are real. You are honest. You are exactly who you are, all the time, and I love every single part of you. I'm full-on ugly crying now, and I don't even care. Taylor Diane Johnson, I promise to love you when you're happy and when you're stressed out about work. I promise to love you when you're singing off-key in the shower and when you're snoring on the couch during movie night. I promise to choose you every single day for the rest of my life. Not because I have to, but because I can't imagine choosing anyone else. It's my turn, and I can barely get the words out through my tears. Marcus, before I met you, I thought I had to shrink myself to be loved. I thought I had to be less opinionated, less loud, less me. But you never asked me to be anything other than myself. You love me when I'm being extra. You love me when I'm ranting about reality TV shows. You love me when I'm wearing sweatpants and a bonnet. You see all of me, and you don't just accept it, you celebrate it. Marcus is crying now too, which makes me cry harder. I promise to be your partner, not your project. I promise to support your dreams even when they scare me. I promise to love you through every season of life, the good ones, the hard ones, and all the ones in between. You are my person, Marcus Thompson. Today, tomorrow, and always. When the officiant pronounces us husband and wife and tells Marcus he can kiss his bride, the whole room erupts in applause and cheers. Marcus dips me dramatically, kisses me thoroughly, and when we come up for air, everyone is on their feet. We're married. We're actually married. The reception is at a beautiful venue with twinkly lights and a live band. The food is incredible. Aunt Carol made sure the caterers knew how to season everything properly. The DJ is playing all the classics. Everyone is dancing, laughing, having the best time. During the toasts, Kennedy gets up and tells a story about how we became friends in college when I defended her from a creepy guy at a party. Taylor has always had my back, Kennedy says, raising her glass. And I've always had hers, even when that meant being ready to fight her ex-boyfriend and his French girlfriend at her wedding. The room laughs, but there are definitely some confused looks from people who don't know what happened. But for real, Kennedy continues, Taylor is the kind of person who makes everyone around her better. She's loyal, she's fierce, she's honest to a fault, and she's the best friend anyone could ask for. Marcus, you're getting the best woman I know. Take care of her, or you'll answer to me. Marcus stands up and salutes. Yes, ma'am. My daddy, who's usually quiet at these kinds of events, surprises everyone by asking for the microphone. I'm not good with words, like my wife is. He says, "But I want to say something about my daughter. Taylor has always known her worth. Even when she was a little girl, she wouldn't settle for less than she deserved. She wouldn't eat vegetables she didn't like, even if it meant no dessert. She wouldn't wear clothes that were uncomfortable, even if they were cute. And she definitely wouldn't date boys who didn't treat her right." He pauses, looking directly at me. "Well, most of the time." The room laughs again. "But the point is, my baby girl has always had a strong sense of self. And Marcus, you're here today because you recognize that. You didn't try to change her. You didn't try to dim her light. You just loved her exactly as she is. That's what every father wants for his daughter. So welcome to the family, son. And remember, we're all watching you." Marcus laughs nervously, and everyone applauds. When it's time for our first dance, the DJ plays Adorn by Miguel, and Marcus and I sway together under the twinkling lights. "So," he says, "are you going to tell me about this other dress now?" I laugh. It's a long story. We have a whole lifetime for long stories. So as we dance, I tell him everything about Dominique's terrible dress, about DeAndre showing up, about the confrontation in the bridal suite, about the scramble to find a replacement dress. Marcus listens to the whole thing, his expressions ranging from shocked to amused to angry. When I finish, he says, "So, let me get this straight. Your ex-boyfriend showed up to our wedding with your wedding dress designer, who deliberately made you a bad dress because she was jealous?" That's the short version, yes. And you handled all of that and still made it down the aisle looking absolutely perfect? Well, I had help. He spins me around. "Taylor Thompson, I like the sound of that. You are incredible. Most brides would have had a meltdown. You had a confrontation, got a new dress, and still married me on time. I mean, the alternative was canceling the wedding. And I really wanted to marry you. I really wanted to marry you too." He kisses me softly. "And for the record, I'm glad you wore this dress instead. You look stunning. You know what's funny? This is Aunt Carol's dress. The dress she wore when she married Uncle Jerome 35 years ago. They're still together, still in love, still making each other laugh." Marcus smiles. "I like that. I like the idea of wearing a dress that represents a long, happy marriage. That's what I want with you. Not a perfect marriage, but a real one. One where we figure things out together. Even when I'm being dramatic, especially when you're being dramatic, that's when you're most entertaining." I laugh and rest my head on his chest. "I love you, Marcus Thompson. I love you too, Taylor Thompson." Later in the evening, after we've cut the cake and I've thrown the bouquet, which Kennedy caught and immediately threw back because she's not ready for that kind of pressure, my mama pulls me aside. "Baby, I need to tell you something." "What's wrong, Mama?" "Nothing's wrong. I just want you to know how proud I am of you. Not just for today, but for how you've grown over the past year. After you and DeAndre broke up, I was worried about you. You were so hurt, so sad, but you picked yourself up. You worked on yourself. You figured out what you really wanted. And then you found Marcus, a man who deserves you." "Mama, don't make me cry again. I just fixed my makeup." She hugs me tight. "One more thing. About what happened this morning with Dominique and DeAndre, I want you to remember this. People who are secure in themselves don't need to tear others down. Dominique tried to make you look foolish because she doesn't feel good about herself. That's her issue, not yours. And DeAndre showed up because he realized too late what he lost. That's his issue, not yours." "I know, Mama." "Good. Because you, my beautiful daughter, are worth more than $5,000 worth of bad dress and more than 3 years of wasted time. You are priceless. Don't ever forget that." Now I'm crying again. Makeup be damned. "And Taylor, the way you handled yourself this morning, with dignity and honesty, that's the woman your father and I raised. We couldn't be prouder." At the end of the night, after all the guests have left and we're packing up to head to our hotel suite, Kennedy pulls me aside one more time. "So what are you going to do about the money Dominique owes you?" "I don't know. Part of me wants to take it and run. But another part of me feels like what? Like maybe she learned something today. And maybe that's worth more than $5,000. Kennedy looks at me like I've lost my mind. Girl, take that money. That woman sabotaged your wedding dress. I know. But she also apologized. And I saw something in her eyes. She was genuinely sorry. Plus, I got my happy ending. I got to marry Marcus in a beautiful dress. I got to stand up for myself. I got to prove that I'm not the same woman who would have stayed in a relationship with someone like DeAndre. You're too nice. Maybe. Or maybe I just don't want to carry around anger and resentment. That's too heavy. I'd rather let it go. Kennedy hugs me. You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. That's why you're happy and they're miserable. You don't hold grudges. Well, I wouldn't say I don't hold grudges. I'm still not over what Lisa said to me in 10th grade. Kennedy laughs. Lisa, who said you couldn't pull off hoop earrings? She was wrong, Kennedy. So wrong. We're both laughing now. And it feels good. It feels right. Marcus and I are in the hotel suite, finally alone after the longest, craziest, most wonderful day of our lives. I'm still in Aunt Carol's dress, and Marcus is still in his tux, and we're eating leftover wedding cake straight from the box. Can I ask you something? Marcus says, his mouth full of buttercream. Of course. When you saw DeAndre today, did you feel anything? Like any regret or second thoughts? I think about it for a moment. Really think about it. You know what I felt? Relief. Relief that I didn't marry him. Relief that I waited for you. And honestly, a little bit of pity. Pity, yeah. Because he's going to go through life making the same mistakes over and over again. He's going to keep running from commitment. He's going to keep settling for people who don't really know him. And he's going to wake up one day, maybe when he's 50, and realize he wasted his life being afraid. That's sad. It is. But it's not my problem anymore. My only concern now is you and me and this beautiful life we're going to build together. Marcus sets down his cake and pulls me close. You want to know what I was thinking when you were walking down that aisle? What? I was thinking about how lucky I am. Not just because you're beautiful, though you are, but because you're real. You're not trying to be perfect. You're not trying to impress anyone. You're just Taylor. And Taylor is exactly who I want to spend the rest of my life with. Even when I'm being extra. Especially when you're being extra. I kiss him, and it tastes like buttercream and happiness and forever. 3 months later, I get an email from Dominique. The subject line reads, I am sorry. I almost delete it without reading, but curiosity gets the better of me. I open it. Dear Taylor, I know I have no right to contact you after what I did, but I wanted you to know that you were right about everything. DeAndre and I broke up 2 weeks after your wedding. He said he wasn't ready for anything serious. He said he needed space. He said all the things you predicted he would say. I was angry at first. Then I was sad. Then I realized I was mostly angry at myself. Not because he left, but because I knew better. You told me who he was, and I didn't listen. I also wanted you to know that I have been doing a lot of therapy. My therapist helped me understand that sabotaging your dress was about my own insecurity, not about you. I was projecting my fears onto you, and that was wrong. I transferred the refund to your account today. I know it doesn't make up for what I did, but it's a start. I saw your wedding photos on social media. I hope that's not creepy. You looked absolutely stunning. That dress was perfect for you, much better than what I designed. I hope you and your husband are happy. You deserve it. Sincerely, Dominique. I show the email to Marcus, who reads it while eating cereal. Yes, my husband sometimes eats cereal for dinner. Love is accepting someone's flaws. What are you going to do? He asks. I think I'm going to write back. Yeah. I'm going to thank her for the apology and wish her well. Life's too short to hold grudges. Plus, she gave me a good story to tell at parties. Marcus laughs. That's true. The time my ex showed up to my wedding with my wedding dress designer is definitely a conversation starter, right? I'm thinking about writing a screenplay. It could be a rom-com or a psychological thriller. I haven't decided yet. Why not both? I kiss him on the forehead. This is why I married you. You get me. So what's the moral of this story? What's the lesson in all this chaos and cake and couture gone wrong? I think it's this. The wrong people will always reveal themselves if you give them enough time. DeAndre revealed himself by showing up where he didn't belong with someone he barely knew. Dominique revealed herself by letting jealousy and insecurity guide her actions. And I revealed myself by choosing dignity over drama and forgiveness over revenge. But more than that, I learned that the right people will show up for you in ways you never expected. Kennedy was ready to fight for me. My mama was ready to defend me. Aunt Carol showed up with a dress that saved the day. And Marcus? Marcus showed up with unconditional love, authentic partnership, and a willingness to eat leftover wedding cake in formal wear at midnight. That's what matters. Not the perfect dress or the perfect ceremony or the perfect revenge on your ex. What matters is finding people who see you, really see you, and love what they see. I could have let that morning's chaos ruin my entire wedding. I could have focused on what went wrong instead of what went right. I could have carried anger toward Dominique and DeAndre into my marriage. But why would I do that? Why would I give them that much power over my happiness? Instead, I chose to laugh at the absurdity, learn from the experience, and move forward with grace. And you know what? That choice made all the difference. So if you're reading this and you're dealing with your own version of a sabotaged wedding dress, or an ex who won't go away, or a situation that feels completely unfair, remember this. You can't control what other people do. You can only control how you respond. Choose grace. Choose growth. Choose to focus on the people who show up for you, not the ones who let you down. And if all else fails, remember that good cake, good friends, and a man who thinks you're perfect even when you're ugly crying can get you through just about anything. Now, if you'll excuse me, my husband and I have leftover cake to eat and a lifetime of memories to make. And this time, I'm wearing sweatpants. Because that's what real love looks like. Like this video if it touched something in you. Subscribe if you want to hear more stories about what it means to be human, to be family, and to choose love even when it's complicated. I'll see you next time. Like this video if it touched something in you. Subscribe if you want to hear more stories about what it means to be human, to be family, and to choose love even when it's complicated. I'll see you next time.